When binging your Halloween horror movies this year, don't neglect the many animated Halloween specials. If you're tired of the mindless slashers, want to watch something more family friendly, and also want to get a good dose of nostalgia. Halloween, like Christmas, is a nostalgia holiday. These holidays are for children after all, with the trick-or-treating for kids on Halloween, the presents under the tree for them just 2 months later, so we remember them fondly. For me, each holiday was celebrated for weeks before the actual date in the form of entertainment media, music, movies, and of course lots of glorious TV specials. Most of these specials are essentially regular episodes of the show, but as the years went by, audiences watched them more and more on the holiday, that many have become cult classics in and of themselves and are rewatched as part of a tradition just as much as Christmas movies. Halloween is Grinch Night. What happens when you take a timeless, family-friendly classic, give it a bunch of Halloween decorations and hallucinogenic drugs, and ensure that it has a bad trip? The result is Halloween is Grinch Night. Of course, I'm not advocating the viewer consume these drugs while watching this, or a bad trip may be imminent, or at the very least a confusing one. The special was made in the 1970s and it shows. It's got funky music, funky, expressive, and colorful animations. It was made in 1977. The era of crazy 70s Sesame Street, the kind of programming that you could probably get away with putting on Halloween for the kids as a horror show. Speaking of Sesame Street, the songs and score were written by the Sesame Street composer. Instead of stealing the holiday like on Christmas, the Grinch simply comes down from his mountain to rain terror on the Who's. Before doing so, a boy attempts to stop him and is treated to a horrific fever dream nightmare for his efforts. It ends with the promise that Grinch Night will return and the Who's will endure Grinch wrath forever. Pretty dark. The Fat Albert Halloween Special. Less psychedelic and more funkadelic. Typical of shows like this and other shows like G.I. Joe, there's always a lesson to be learned. And in this special, it's a common one, but a good one. That old lady that you think is a witch turns out to be a real person. Not a witch, not even scary. The lesson harkens all the way back to the Salem witch trials and other kangaroo court witch hunts, where scapegoats were piled on by the superstitious and truly evil people and deemed a witch simply because they were disliked or misunderstood. The Cosby kids learned that you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, things aren't always what they seem at first, and also comments on the fallacies of prejudice as a whole.
It's weird.
She's no weirder than any other old woman.
That's the trouble. All old people are weird.
But that's not to say the kids don't get plenty of Halloween night thrills along the way to learning their lessons, including plenty of jokes too, making this special a timeless Halloween classic. I want to add that I have no interest in Bill Cosby and anything he did off screen, similar to any actor, writer, or director, and what they do in the real world. I feel like cancel culture will want to erase from history everything good that an offender ever made. That's book burning in my book, and we should concentrate not so much on the artist, but the art itself, for its entertainment, nostalgia, and even historical value. Speaking of history, the next special involves the history of seafaring swashbucklers come back to haunt, aka ghost pirates, in Garfield Halloween Adventure. Similar to Simpsons Treehouse of Horror Halloween specials, on which plenty of other YouTube videos delve, the holiday specials, Halloween, then Thanksgiving, then Christmas, have 3 specials with 2 great ones and a kind of mediocre one in the middle. The Garfield Thanksgiving special is just kind of not noteworthy, just boring. I keep trying to watch it but keep falling asleep partway through. Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is no better, just simply unremarkable. Garfield Christmas is a classic I watch every year without fail. Like the 1982 animated movie The Snowman, it's like eating holiday comfort food. But first, every year, during the spooky season, Garfield Halloween Special is the best. It's got just as much humor and lovable characters as the other Garfield episodes and comic strip, even some scenes mimicking the familiar look of the comic panels. But throw in a legitimately scary climax about ghost pirates and being stuck on an island, no way out, and at midnight the ghosts are coming, and they know who we are. Garfield Halloween Adventure, along with Grinch Night, won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Animation. And while I can't agree with the former, the latter certainly earns it with its enthralling and even terrifying story, at least to kids. I don't get scared at this still, really. Its captivating animation, such as the glowing ghosts, and like its Christmas counterpart, has wonderful music, with Lou Rawls and even Garfield himself singing, voiced by Lorenzo Music. They sing some songs including a pirate sea shanty worthy of a sing-along, and praise as any sea shanty you'll hear on TikTok.
60 men all lost at sea, all of them drunk except for me. 'Twas I who had to face the storm with nothing in sight to keep me warm. Yo ho ho ho, over the raging sea we go. Yo ho ho ho, wherever the four winds blow. Hey!
So what do you think? Is Garfield better than a Great Pumpkin? Or do you put them on equal footing as I do? There's more than enough time to binge all these shows without having to pick and choose. Just watch as many of them as you can fit in your free time. It's easier to find Halloween-themed cartoons, stories set during the actual Halloween holiday, and often featuring what kids do on the holiday, namely trick-or-treating or parties. It's more difficult to find live-action specials that aren't simply horror, but actually Halloween-themed. To me, binging horror is great around Halloween, but it's always great to rewatch animated Halloween specials to get in the actual spirit of Halloween.
Yeah, I love you. Now get out of here. What a night. Boy, am I wired. I think I'll see what's on TV.
Good evening, and welcome to our all-night pirate movie festival.
Boy, am I tired.